So today we're going to be doing something very simple, soft glam. Haven't really thought about this before. I feel like I've done natural looks, but is it soft glam? Not really sure. But we are going to be featuring a new eyeshadow palette that I've been using. This will be my second time using it, so you guys bear with me as we figure this out for our soft glam. And it is going to be this Morphe. This is the Madison Beer palette. So it's supposed to be very neutral, I would say, for the most part. They do have like some colorful shimmers in there. So with this being said, we're gonna probably use like some browns, probably not black, but probably like these nice shimmers over here that I like, but probably just like a nice natural, but it's gonna have a little bit more glam, so a little bit more sparkle in there for today's look. So you guys can keep up with me as always, and make sure if you love these videos and you love watching me, then you will subscribe and go ahead and hit that like button as well for this video, y'all. So we're gonna dive right on into our look, and as always, keep up with me, y'all. So y'all, first I'm going to go in with this Fenty that I have. This is my Fenty. This is the Ultra Fine Eyebrow Pencil Filler that I'm using in for today. Fell in love with this product. I don't think it's going to last long because my eyebrows are super thick. But needless to say, it does work very well. So we're going to go in and fill in my brows first with this. I'm not going to do too much concealer to define my eyebrows today because, like I said, it's supposed to be like a soft glam. So I don't want to do too much. So we're just going to keep it pretty simple even with the eyebrows. So I'm getting my eyes prepared and we're just getting them primed. So I'm just going to make sure I set them really good with some eyeshadow primer, and then I'm also going to set them with some concealer just to make sure everything is all even. But we're just going to talk a little bit about soft glam. What does it mean to have a soft glam? Soft glam is kind of difficult because, like I said, it's in between. Like, you want to have like a natural look, so I've done those before, but soft glam just takes it up just a little bit. It makes something a little bit more elevated, so by using a couple more shimmers, but still everything is pretty much still neutral tone as from what I understand. So that's what we're going to try today. And for this palette, I've only used it once, and I think the colors that I used came out kind of light, so it does take a little bit of time to build up color. However, I think that does happen with a lot of Morphe products. I'm not super surprised if that is the case with this one when I try some other colors, but they are pretty much neutral with some oranges, a couple of shades of purples with the shimmers. But for the most part, I got it because, you know, it was at a reasonable price. I think the price point was around $25 for that palette. So that's why I'm still excited to use it, because it is Morphe. Morphe is affordable and you still can get the same pretty much like outcome. Sometimes it just takes a little bit more work with Morphe, but needless to say, we'll see what happens. So this is the Madison Beer Morphe collaboration palette, and this is the Channel Surfing Artistry palette. So I'm just gonna go through what colors I'm gonna pick today because I don't even know. Like, I'm coming on here literally when I say soft glam, I'm still figuring it out. So I'm just gonna go through exactly what I plan on doing with my eyes, and that's gonna be the focus. Everything else is gonna be pretty much the same for foundation and concealer purposes, but the eyes are gonna be the focus, y'all. So I'm hoping to figure out what colors I wanna use for my eyes. I think I'm gonna start with like a lighter color just for my crease, so that way it'll kind of build up into a darker brown, and then we can just kind of stay within that range. So first color I'm thinking about doing is going to be this color right here. Don't have the exact name for it, but it's this really light brown shade that we have right here that I'm going to try using in my crease first. There is a good bit of fallout with this palette. Not a big fan of that, but we're going to keep it going. So I'm just going to try putting this in my crease. It is coming out like a creamy color. And I'm just trying to put this on the outer part of my crease. So far, this is coming out like a nice beige color, which I actually kind of like. Like, it's actually giving me the perfect color that I was intending for it to have. So I must say, I think it may also be the way that I set my eyes differently from the first time that I used this palette. So it's making me a little more hopeful about the palette and about what this is going to come out looking like. Like I said, I feel like since the colors are light, you do have to be mindful, especially as a brown skin girl. You have to be a little more mindful and making sure that like your whole eye is concealed good enough so that way the light colors show up completely. So I do like the way that I set my eyes today, so maybe that also is a factor. So I've already done my creases. Actually, I think the way that I want to do this eye look today, we're going to do, instead of focusing like on the area where you usually do a cut crease, I think I'm going to go in a little bit. I think I'm going to do more like in the middle of my eye with the sparkles. So I'm actually going to go in not only on my crease, but I'm going to start going to my inner corner with the same light beige color. darken my eye up a little bit. So this is really not a light brown color, but it is going to be this one right here. So it's not really a dark brown, but it does look darker. So I think this will be a perfect combo since we already have a light color going on. So going in with that, taking a different brush just to make sure I go on the outer ends of this, and we're just going to apply that to the outside of the eye. So I've done that. It did take a little bit of time to build up that brown, only because I felt like it wasn't enough contrast between the two. So maybe if I use a different starting color, maybe it wouldn't have been as hard to make a contrast between the two. So this is how my eyes look right now, and then we're just gonna add a little bit of sparkles. Like I said, it's gonna be kind of in the middle of the eye this time. So no cut crease today, something simple. Like I said, it should be very soft and elegant. So next thing I'm gonna use is gonna be this brush. So I'm just gonna go in with a brush like this. Okay, I'm gonna stick with something simple. So like I said, we're gonna stick with some nude colors. So I'm gonna go with this color right here since I feel like it matches what we're doing. So I'm gonna go with this sparkle. Going in just with this brush, and I'm just gonna apply it to the middle of my lid. I'm just gonna apply it like right up in here. So I just use it right up, basically up into my crease area, where my light brown and dark brown met. Is kind of going back in and blending all of this out so that way it looks a little more cohesive. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more of the dark brown, just to help blend this in a little better. Make sure that I'm blending up there the line between the light brown and the dark brown. Okay, so we are done now, so let me just go ahead and close my eyes. That way you guys can get a better look at how my eyes look. I feel like Soft Glam does require you to use some colors that are sometimes outside of your comfort zone, because usually I'm used to using like more medium to dark brown stuff, and having to use like this very light beige color was something different for me. But I feel like once we put everything together, it's gonna look beautiful. And then I also think your eyes are very dependent on how your lips are. So your lips and your eyeshadow work together, so depending on what color I pick, it definitely will make or break this look ultimately. So I'm just gonna finish up and do all my foundation things, and then I'm gonna come back on camera to do lipstick, and we'll go ahead and give final reviews on this palette and then also my Soft Glam look for today, y'all. Okay, y'all, so I finished up everything with my face, so my foundation is on, and then other than that, I just did some highlighting, did a little bit of contour, and then I finished up with a little bit of highlighter. So we're just gonna go in with the last product for today. So it is going to be one of my newer products. So this is made by Bite. I have not tried this brand before, hoping it's good, but this is supposed to be like a crayon-like lipstick. So it's not supposed to be matte, but I think it's supposed to kind of like be an in-between a satin and a matte. That's the color I have. It's almost like a dark rose color, but it'll probably show up better. But this is the product, so I think this is sold at only Sephora, because I didn't see it at Ulta since I've never tried the product before. So first thing I'm going to do is go in with this dark brown. So I think that this color will look really good for us to finish off. I think this color will look really good for us to finish off this glam for today, because it's still a nude, but I think it'll give us a splash of color since we don't have any color going on in the eyes. So just going on with this dark brown first, just to line my lips. This is like the base color I use for almost everything, because it blends everything good and it doesn't overshadow anything. This is our color, and this is how the applicator looks. So it's almost still like a lipstick. So I love the fact that it has like a pointy tip to it. I feel like it makes it easier to apply, especially with the corners of your lips and like the areas that you want to catch very precisely. I think that would be really good. So I'm just gonna go in with this, and this is another look at the color. So like I said, it's like a dark rose. And it also smells really good. I don't know what it is, but it's almost like a fruity light smell. So I really love that. That makes you even want to wear it a little bit more. So I think this really brightens up our look. It kind of brings it full circle. I always like a little bit of pop of color, so I think this pink is like perfect. So this is basically the final look of our whole entire soft glam look for today. So just gonna give some quick reviews over this Madison Beer and Morphe collab palette that I have that I use for my eyes today. So let me just show you my eyes one more time so that way you get the final result. So I only use this palette for today. This is how my eyes turned out. Overall, I think I really did like how my eyes turned out. I think that, like I said, Morphe products, I always got to use a little bit more product and a little bit more time to make sure I get the same amount of coverage. But I do think that it's probably not my favorite palette in the world, only because it's very muted. It doesn't really have colors that stand out, and usually I like at least a couple colors that stand out. But I do think that this has a lot of potential to just be a palette you pull out for certain things, and I feel like this soft glam look might be that thing that I pull it out for, since it did really good with that. The colors were still very much blendable. They showed up pretty good, but I think, like I said, make sure you have a good setting on your eyes and make sure that these soft colors come out as good as they can. I love the palette. Not a big fan of the packaging or like the overall kind of like the container that it comes in, only because it kind of gets dirty very quickly, especially with these types of palettes when they have that. So that's one thing I don't like about it. But overall, I would say this is my go-to for my soft glam. If I'm gonna go for this look again, definitely gonna use this palette. So awesome job, Morphe. And this is my final look for today, y'all. So as always, keep up with me. It's Kenitra, y'all.